Hey guys, welcome to another review. Here's my review for the movie Cheaper by the Dozen, 2022 edition. This movie stars Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union, and the movie is directed by Gail Lerner. Not very familiar with her. I had to IMDb her profile, and basically she just works on a lot of comedy shows. And all the comedy shows she works on are shows I don't even like, so I'm like, excited to watch this movie now. Cheaper by the Dozen, a remake to 2000s film. Steve Martin, Bonnie Hunt, and Eugene Levy was in the sequel. A remake to a movie that wasn't even good. And so, this is a remake no one asked for. And and it ends up being even worse than the Steve Martin one. I'll say, I don't really like the Steve Martin Bonnie Hunt Cheap by the Dozen movie. I don't think it's awful, but I just don't particularly like it. I don't think it's all that funny. There's a couple jokes here and there that are kind of okay, and there are moments that I'm like, okay, that was kind of touching, but it's not that good of a film. Maybe for the family, I could definitely see the family watching it. Even when Cheap by the Dozen 2, I can see the family enjoying and the kids having fun with Cheap by the Dozen 1 and 2. I think 2 is even worse than 1, but they're not like horrendous films. They're just films I don't particularly care for. But I can see kids and the family having fun with those movies. This one is worse than both those films. And what makes it even worse is that this movie's not even for kids or even for the family. And I don't know who the fuck this movie's for. After watching this film, I'm like, who the fuck is this movie for? The movie has mostly like adult jokes and adult themes in it, so no kids are gonna get the jokes. And the jokes they put in it aren't even that funny and are used in other films and television shows, so most of the adults are not gonna like it. I don't know who's gonna like this film. I don't think adults or kids will even enjoy it. I think adults will find it too juvenile and silly and a bit pandering and stuff. And I think kids are just gonna get bored as hell watching this film. So I have no idea who this movie's for. It's just not good. It's basically a story about this man and his woman. They got together. He had a couple kids. She had a couple kids from their previous marriages. Now they got married. They opened up this like restaurant, breakfast restaurant called like the Baker Restaurant or some shit. I don't know. And then he wants to like franchise it, and then they get like a bigger house, and they live in a better neighborhood, and the mom has to take in more responsibility while he's on the road, making his business better. He also takes in his nephew. There's a story in there too. The funny thing is, it's called Cheaper by the Dozen, and there's not even a dozen kids. So I'm assuming they're just like including the parents. I'm like, well, they can't even get the title right. At least in the Steve Martin ones, they're a dozen kids. And they actually try their best to focus on the kids and their struggles of moving to a new neighborhood and stuff. And maybe all of them definitely don't get a lot of screen time, but the majority get a story and like you kind of know what they are. This one, not really. I think the oldest daughter gets the most screen time with like the nephew. That's really it. And then the nerdy kid kind of gets a little screen. Like, I don't even remember any character's name or they focus mostly on Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union being like this mom trying to take care of the family while the dad's gone, and the dad trying to make this breakfast franchise that I don't know isn't going well and stuff. And they also put a lot of politics in the film. Yeah, a lot of identity politics are in the film, and I know people don't want to hear that. It's true. There is politics. There's literally a 10-minute lecture on racism. There's a whole thing about societal issues. They go all in on this one. And it is very preachy, and it gets very annoying. I'm just like, okay. I don't think politics belong in a kids' film. I think you should keep that out of kids' films, but most people don't give a shit now. I don't know. It made the movie a little more unbearable than it was. It was already pretty unbearable. I didn't like really anything about the movie. I think Gabrielle Union is the only one that gives actually a legit, pretty good performance. I think she's pretty good in the film. I know she's a pretty good actress, and she is fine in the film. I guess she can't get better work, so this is the best she can do. I think the oldest daughter is decent too. Zach Braff, I've liked some of his work. I don't think he's very good in this film. His performance is very weird. He's like, oh yeah, I want a breakfast franchise, yeah. Oh. I'm like, okay. It's a very odd performance. Erica Christensen is in the movie, and she's like this like weird homeless hippie. I don't know. This is weird. There's a lot of weird stuff in this movie. Like, what? It's not very good though. Like, I didn't laugh a single time, and I was just trying to figure out who this movie was for. Watching this entire film, I was thinking like, there's no way kids would find this enjoyable. There's no way they'd find anything funny or anything like that. And I don't even think adults would find this even enjoyable. So I just don't know who this movie's for. I don't know what the demographic for this film is. Nobody, I guess. It's just a bad movie. It's not like, it didn't like piss me off or anything. There are annoyances in the film for sure, but it's just a bad movie. I would say go watch the other Cheap by the Dozen movies, the Steve Martin ones more. As much as I don't think those are very good movies, they're definitely a lot better than what this one is. So definitely go check those ones out more. I think the kids will have a lot more fun with those films. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Cheap by the Dozen 2022 a 3 out of 10. Not very good. So yeah. In the comment section below, please tell me, what is your favorite Cheaper by the Dozen movie? Take the first one, second one, this one. Let me know. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.